Hello everybody, it's Flesson19 and welcome to the beta branch update 1.5.4 for October 23rd. I have absolutely no script for this. I am going just completely off the wall, pressing the record button, and I'm going to run with this just as is because I think I need to speak from the heart on this. 1.5.4 dropped, and looking at it, it was massive. However, when you look at the sustenance of it, there wasn't really that much that they gave you. There really wasn't. The two things that stood out to me were the tree perks, which they did, and then there was a memory leak issue. So just looking at those two things, I was kind of about it. However, the perks were pretty well done for the most part, and I will say for the most part. They did do some really nice things with scouting, roguery. Steward became extremely powerful once you got it up top. So all in all, it wasn't that great of an update. However, I could let it slide. And then I got into the game. There are so many bugs and crashes that I could literally spend time until Christmas reporting them. It is just, there are so many on the forums and that I have seen, it would take forever, and I don't want this to become a half-hour video. It's that plain and simple. I'm going to end up highlighting two things in this entire video for the most part, but I'm telling you right now, I would literally spend the next half hour discussing things with you, and I'm not going to do that for you guys. So I am definitely not going to run through all these bugs and crashes until they get sorted out just a little bit more, since up to this point on Friday we've only had one hotfix, and trust me when I say that was mediocre at best. The one thing that was done right were the perks. I've actually done a video on the perks that I will link at the end of this, so I am not going to be running through all the perks. To put it plain and simple, to not sugarcoat it and to not hide things from you, I believe 1.5.4 is a mitigated disaster in so many ways, and there are too many to run through right now. But I think two of the main issues that I'm going to touch will kind of highlight that. First of all is graphics. At the end of 1.5.3, I was streaming with the graphics settings that was so impressive for the system that I had, that I actually had someone tell me that I should post a video with my graphics settings, because how bad my system is to be able to stream and record with the settings and not get one lockup or not even one pause running a 800 battle size on my system was just phenomenal. And then 1.5.4 dropped. From the point that that dropped, I have actually had to reduce my video settings 3 times and drop the battle size from 800 to 700, and I'm still getting pauses. The other thing that I'm going to talk briefly about is traders. This is a trader from my latest 1,000 day challenge. As you can see, I am 278. Now, this trader was mostly dealing in horses, not so much in trade goods. And I hit 278 in 1,000 days. Now, if you don't deal in horses, this number is going to be way less. So what they did was they moved, everything has a price, from 225 down here all the way up to 300. Now I have absolutely no idea how long it's going to take a trader not dealing in horses to be able to get to 300, but I'm telling you right now, it is going to take a long time. Now, what they also did was they massively increased the herd penalty. So when I logged on I went from traveling 5.4 to 1.8 speed. You cannot virtually run more than a couple hundred, maybe 300 horses at most without having the riding perk that will help you offset it. Without having that perk, you can't run more than 400 horses, which means this guy who was running 1,000 or 2 horses, think how long it's going to take now. When you take everything into account, I will say that 1.5.4 is at this point a mitigated disaster. I would not even come close to ever telling somebody to upgrade to it unless you're absolutely desperate for those perks. You don't want to touch it. With the nerf to trading, the graphics problems, the still stuttering because of the autosave that hasn't been touched, that was supposed to be in the hotfix, but yet wasn't in the hotfix, to the crashes that are still happening, to the horrible graphics of certain people. There is just so many problems right now. Telling people to upgrade to 1.5.4, I'd be worried about telling people whether or not to buy the game. And I'm being dead serious right now. I think that this was such a terrible job on Tailworld's part that I don't know how many people would actually dare tell them that it's a game worth buying right now. And it's also terrible when you have to look at somebody and say, hey, you can always go mod. Why should you have to have mod to have a good running game? Whenever somebody tells you you have to mod to have a good game, that starts you to think, maybe all in all, it's not a good game at all. Just food for thought. Until next week, I'm Flesson19. Take care, and thanks for watching.